we all understand the type of climate that we're dealing with. We're dealing with multiple offer situations.
I'd love to know sort of what's your why? What makes you tick? Why are you so successful?
Have a dialogue with your lawyer. Have a dialogue with your agent.
Both sort of passionate about sort of what we do.
Again, vet your agent to make sure that they're experienced and they're local. I like that idea.
No excuse to miss it on Saturdays from 8 to 9.
That's right.
WBZ.
And now, the show that gives you the latest and most relevant housing market news. Real Estate Radio Boston with financial expert Rick Shearer and legal professional Ali Alavi.
Give us a little bit of a background about you and your firm first.
Absolutely. So I've been practicing for about 10 years. Just a couple with Partridge, Snow, and Hahn now, downtown in Boston.
Awesome.
And I specialize in all forms of commercial litigation with the focus on real estate litigation.
Got it.
And so when things go wrong, we file suit for you or defend you in the event a suit was filed against you. And make everyone happy.
But we're talking about sort of a legal vehicle that hopefully preserve the right of an individual that may have a claim against someone else.
That's right. And so what this does is an attachment is a way to put a lien on someone else's real property in the Commonwealth.
All right. So just put it in perspective. I mean, under what circumstances?
So if I have a contract with you, Ollie,
yes,
and you owe me $10,000,
and it could be for anything.
Could be for anything: personal services, the sale of a car, whatever.
Real estate commissions
that haven't been paid to the broker. Absolutely.
Okay.
So you're owed money.
Exactly.
An amount that's easily calculated.
Right.
I can go in to court, file a complaint, but also place a lien on whatever real property you, Ali, own. So on your home or on a commercial real estate.
Right.
I can put a lien that gets filed at the Registry of Deeds for the $10,000 you owe me.
And for a listener that's driving, I'm sorry, Rick, but for a listener that's driving right now, when we keep using the word lien, we're talking about a claim
that's
placed on that, a cloud that's you're forcing on that particular property. So you can't easily dispose of the property without having to somehow settle the case.
It actually prevents the defendant, the homeowner, from conveying, refinancing, doing anything with that real property until the claim is resolved.
How long is this leverage good for? So, I mean, you go through these steps and you go, okay, so you owe me $50,000. I'm going to put an attachment on the house for $50,000. How long is that good for?
It's good for 6 years or until such time that you get your actual judgment from the court, where the court says, yes, you are owed this amount. The judgment then merges with that attachment, and then you can collect.
Got it. So, but it's lesser of the two? It's 6 years or? It's
6 years or until you have your judgment and you go to collect.
And so what happens when the 6 years comes and goes? Can you renew the attachment or do you have to refile a new case? Or
You'd have to refile a new case and go through the steps all over again. But many times it's resolved much more quickly than 6 years.
Huh. Interesting. Tell us a little bit more about what radon is and why should people be aware of it.
And why should we care? Yeah.
And why is it
scary but very fixable?
Exactly.
So no reason to freak out. And I like to start every conversation about it, particularly for this audience in the real estate industry. Don't ever throw a property out the window because you may have a high level. I mean, it's fixable. We've literally never had a situation that we couldn't come up with a solution. It may take a few tries, but
sure. And now, what is radon?
So radon, very simple. It's a naturally occurring element. It's a soil gas. It's present in different areas of the country wherever you've got a lot of ledge, bedrock, where there's uranium, a naturally occurring radioactive element.
Sure.
So, as uranium breaks down, it emits radon gas, which can cause cancer.
And there's a certain acceptable level of radon that the EPA has put out, and so if it's below a certain level, you got to do something about it. I mean, you're encouraged to do something about it.
That's correct.
Right.
And actually, this is interesting. It ties into what Lauren was discussing. It does become and what you were discussing earlier. It's a disclosure event,
right?
Just like anything else. So there is not a mandate. So let me answer your question. The level at which the EPA recommends you mitigate is 4.0. In measurement unit.
Right.
Pretty much every single home inspector tests for it now. If it's higher than 4, it's a disclosure event. The buyers and sellers have to decide who's going to pay for it.
What are you seeing right now for the fall market? I mean, a lot of people are calling now to get their houses ready and prepped and allowing you to do that. What are you seeing that's coming to the market pretty soon?
So just like every year, the summer slows down. People think, oh, everybody moves in the summer. Nobody moves in the summer. They want to go to the beach.
Right.
They want to have fun. They want to go to Puerto Rico like this gentleman over here. And so now once they get their kids back in school and kids are back in college, now they're refocused on, okay, now this plan that we had, we need to get into place. So everyone's coming on, probably starting over the next couple of weeks. But actually, the smart people are ready for September 1 or right after Labor Day. The ones who are lagging are coming on probably the middle or end of September. So October and November are usually crazy months for us.
You guys really bring a fresh perspective to how that market is and how it reacts and what it demands and what your return on investment may be.
One of the biggest things we did is we saw, as I was coming up in real estate, that you had to go here for residential assistance, you had to go here for commercial assistance, you had to go here for renting out your property. We have clients who own commercial property, have multifamilies and their own single-family home. So it's really one-stop shopping. I know it sounds cliche, but we have a whole separate rental division who really has dominated over the last couple of years in our area and really helped these people who we're used to dealing with commercial brokers who have a little different approach to business, and we kind of gave it more of a residential approach in the sense of the service level we give and the communication levels we have with those clients. So the people we're dealing with in a commercial standpoint love it because it's attention to detail that they weren't seeing.
Right.
And our residential rentals is a whole separate division. My wife's been doing that for 20 years.
I wholeheartedly say an absolute breath of fresh air.
Right.
It really has been. I mean, we work.
Me?
You, your company, your team, your agents.
He doesn't say so himself.
A big breath of fresh air.
Huge breath of fresh air.
You specialize in listings, and you got a great buyer team that helps with the buyers. Let's spend about a minute and a half. If someone in that Greater Milford market was to call you, walk us through how that phone call would go and what the steps are to get their property on the market. So they're going to call you and say, I just want to know what my property is worth. What's the next step? So how do you handhold your sellers to put it on the market and then get closed?
So it's a little different than most. I take a two-step process to getting a value in a home. A lot of agents go out there, predetermined value range, see the house and kind of throw a value on it. I go out there without any predetermined idea of what the home is worth. I need to understand location, condition, the updates and upgrades they've done. I want to get to understand where these people have come from and where they want to go. I go and collect all that data and meet with them. It's about a half an hour, 45 minutes. I come back and I do a full valuation. Then we meet again. We talk about here's the value. Here's why the value is where it is. And I kind of tailor it to their home, not just a generalized
That is so
range.
unique. I love that.
And then talk about here's the marketing plan. Here's how we're specifically going to sell your home. My approach isn't trying to make it appeal to everybody. Let's find exactly who needs to buy this house, who will buy this house, and let's target that demographic of buyer.